This is AFTV VIP, the official web app with members-only content, has no ads and a live in-game match center. The bias predictor, it has daily polls and the AFTV 11 selector. Just one click away.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the News Daily Show with myself, Cecil G. As usual, we've got James B waiting in the wings. Hope everyone is okay. Good morning. I don't know if everyone's recovered yet from the 0-0 draw against Leeds on Sunday. Let us know in the comments. I was scouring comments this morning. I didn't find anything too crazy. I've got Zach Hampson saying Son and Kane are going to end Holding's career, but a great reply from Louis. Holding's career was already ended by Grealish at Aston Villa. So the banter's already started early morning. It's Tuesday and we're getting at it. Right, before I move on, I have to bring in my man, James B. Welcome. I told you I want to get that sound effect machine is coming and it's going to give you a big round of applause. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
I'm all right. Good. Obviously, there's good news in this as well. Obviously, the fans will be returning for the derby. I don't know how crazy that will be. I don't know how mad that's going to be because I'm sure everyone's going to want that ticket to be in there. But yeah, no, that's good news. And then we might as well just get straight onto it, James. To be fair, and talk about Pepe's apology that he put on Instagram. I don't know if many have seen it, but I'm sure James will be able to break it down.
Yeah, and apologies for any repeat news here because this came out yesterday, and Robbie and DT covered it on their show, but thought it was just worth mentioning it again that he basically posted on Instagram saying, yesterday I let my team down at a crucial time of the game and there is no excuse for my behaviour. I'm deeply sorry. Would like to apologise to the fans, my teammates, my coach and everyone else at the club. Signed, Nicolas Pepe. Now, he apologised. Good on him. I've said a few times now that I feel a little bit sorry for him. Mm-hmm. I just think everyone, by the way, but anyone who watches us like regularly, Cecil, knows that I'm not like Pepe's biggest fan. It's not to say I don't rate him. That's just me.
Same. Yeah. I agree. I agree.
That's just I've never. A lot of people have been saying, "Oh, Willian's rubbish. He's got, he can't play. Give Pepe a chance." I'm like, well, I don't think Pepe's doing enough anyway himself. So I'm just getting that out there. But I've not been. If you don't follow us regularly, you'll know I'm not Pepe's biggest fan. But I did feel sorry for him because I felt that for what he did, the reaction, it was stupid. It was a bit, it wasn't clear, it was, that's the word, stupid. It was really stupid. But I did feel we all kind of overreacted. Do you know what? Actually, I didn't. I didn't overreact. A lot of,
if you read that, it should leave.
A lot of people, I felt,
they were infuriated.
Say that again.
They were infuriated. They were very angry.
A lot of people were infuriated because he ultimately cost us the opportunity of 3 points, and I understood why Arteta was infuriated, and I understand why. I understand why in the heat of the moment we were all infuriated by it, and rightly so. But I feel like the aftermath of it has been a little bit like, is Pepe done? Should he get a second chance? Should he? And I'm like. By the way, go to the AFTV VIP app where you can vote on a poll where we're asking that very question about whether he should be sold in January. But I don't know. But bless Pepe. I'm not sending him to Hogwarts. But, do you feel like looking back, like there was just a bit of an overreaction from the fandom?
Yeah, well, do you know what? I got a lot of messages recently about saying I have an agenda against Pepe, and I felt that was quite harsh on my behalf. I just feel like he hasn't shown enough in the time that he's been given to play. He was a very big signing, and I thought loads of him. I wanted Zaha, so I expected him to be similar to Zaha, but provide more. Was my opinion. I've yet to see that, so. I had questions about him. And then obviously people that get, like you said before, the debate became what about Willian? Again, I'm not massively a fan of Willian either. I think right now in that position, the competition isn't that high. I don't think they're doing enough in their position. I broke it down many a times in previous shows. Their stats aren't great either. They don't do enough when it comes to creating chances or putting crosses into the box. Our fullbacks do a lot more. So it's not like I have an agenda against Pepe. I just was like, I'm not seeing enough. So when he did the red card, I actually initially first was angry. Then I was like, oh no, I was angry at first, and then I realized I actually feel sorry for him because this was I guess Arteta kind of gave it to him as like, this is your opportunity to prove to me because you've been saying it, you deserve your opportunity. This is your chance. And then he did that. And in my opinion, as a player as well, like I think it's common knowledge. Like even in any, like I said it before, any level of football, as soon as you lean your head in, it's a red card. So it's just. I was just like, that's something you shouldn't be doing. I feel sorry for him. Go on, you go.
No, sorry, I because you're right. Because when you stop and think about it all, he leaned in, which was stupid. He was talking to the press about wanting to be given opportunities. He was given an opportunity, and he obviously couldn't deal with whatever happened in that moment, and he acted out. And that is all really stupid. I mean, it is all really, 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 really stupid. And it is very difficult to condone that. So I'm not saying the action wasn't stupid. It's more that the reaction has just been a little bit like, not just a reaction to whether Pepe has a future at the club, but also just the actual act of what he did. People go, oh, what a headbutt to headbutt. I'm like, well, no. He was sent off because the action was deemed aggressive, not because he like flat out knocked Alioski out with his forehead. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like people are just getting a little bit too wound up about what Pepe did, but that's just me. Maybe I'm being a bit protective of him because he's one of our players. I don't know, but anyway, he has apologised now.
Yeah. Let's get off some super chats. Thank you, Mark T. Pepe was wrong for doing what he did, but the abuse that he was getting is just equally unacceptable. Especially he was racially abused. Terrible. Now that is exactly why I felt sorry for him. That in a nutshell. It's just, but I think we're quick. Not even us. I don't think people in this chat as much, because I know I see most of you guys most mornings are quick to have an opinion, but sometimes you got to let the player he's fully aware of what's going on. Sorry, I'm shaking the table. He's fully aware of his mistake. So then having other people from the exterior, which I get as a professional footballer, you lot might think, well, this is what it comes with. But these are players. Players are humans as well. Like they have emotions. Like they feel what we feel. So sometimes we just got to be careful of what we say. He's clearly aware of his mistake. He's clearly a confidence player, and he's also an intrinsic person. You can see just from watching him that he may not be mentally strong enough to deal with all of this. So I just feel for him at the moment, and I hope that someone in the changing room has their arm around him, because I feel like he's going to be his manager's, by seeing Arteta's response, is going to be quite a difficult week for him, or difficult journey for him to get back into the squad. James, before you just say your opinion, we've got another super chat that I just wanted to make sure we pop up before we get into you guys as well. Sorry, bear with me. Here it is. Oh, it's just a shout out to the name. Thank you, Dimitri Haddad. Thank you for that super chat. I just want to shout out. Big up. But yeah, guys, keep getting your comments and let us know your thoughts. On James, you go, because there's loads.
On that last point, it's actually really important I say this. The sort of level of criticism and the reaction that I felt went a bit too far was from, vaguely sensible Arsenal fans with an opinion, and some very sensible Arsenal fans with an opinion. But the ones who are racially abusing him, like I wasn't even, I don't even acknowledge them. That's, of course, completely and utterly unacceptable. And I'm really glad that the club came out and made a statement about that quite quickly as well. So I just wanted to say that. I mean, that is completely and utterly unacceptable. The overreaction I'm talking about is just this feeling that, like, he's done at the club. There's no way back for him. What he did was, this despicable act on a football pitch. I felt that all went a little bit too far, personally. Although people are entitled to their opinion on that. But the other stuff, there's no.
Now, these are great comments here, James. Jason says David Luiz should help him out. He's been there before. And then we've got a super chat from AJ Morgan saying, if David Luiz had the chance to redeem himself for his red cards, so should Pepe. And do you know what? I actually agree with that. The only thing I'm going to say is Pepe needs to he's going to have to climb the ladder again from the bottom to earn his spot back. Now, I don't know how long that's going to take. There's plenty of matches, especially over the Christmas period. We have loads, so there's time for him to earn his spot back. But I agree with this comment. I just feel like he deserves to have a chance to redeem himself, but he also needs to start from the beginning because he has been playing, and I personally, as a fan, haven't seen enough from Pepe. But
well,
you know,
this is interesting because this takes us back. This takes us back to the apology, right? Which is what kind of the opening topic was today, and you could maybe I'm being harsh. You could say that the apology took a little too long to come out, maybe. Whereas David Luiz is he has at least before made a mistake and come out immediately and apologised to the press. He's fronted up the press in interviews post game and talked about what he did and his mistakes and whatnot. So that, you're right. Luiz could easily speak to Pepe and said, "Look, I've been there before. I've had the hate. I've been told I've got no future, and I've made a comeback. I can help you do the same." So there's no doubt it can help in that sense. But then I want to ask you, and I want to ask the fans in the comment section, do you think Pepe took a little too long to apologise, maybe?
Let
me get the exact time.
Let me just check. I like what Arteta has been saying, but his actions haven't matched his words. Also, I get that. Thank you, Ranjos M. So thanks for the super chat. Anyone trust these players? I can only think of Tierney, Gabriel, Partey, Leno as the only players I would trust. These players caused three managers their jobs. Whew, that is a big ass statement. So two of them are Arteta's bringing. So I'm gonna look at Tierney. Okay, yeah. What about Saka? I mean, Saka we can put in there as well. He's been top class. It's hard.
I'm not. Look, I absolutely. The point about whether we trust these players is absolutely valid. But did they cost three managers their jobs? I mean, do you count Freddie? I don't count Freddie as a manager, so no. So that withers it down to Emery and Wenger. Most of them weren't there for Wenger, and in fairness, I think Wenger had years and years of understanding and patience from Arsenal fans, and clearly that came to an end, and I think rightly so. And Emery, I thought, deserved the sack, regardless of whether the player's down tools. So, it's a good point whether we trust the players. But I want to bring this back up, though, to you and the fans in the comment section. Did Pepe take too long to apologise?
No. Only because I believe he would have got help with writing the apology. I know that sounds crazy, but they have most football players and most football players in high profile positions, even in like medium profile positions at like Champions League championship clubs, they have people that help with their social media, especially most of the time. If you look at players' Instagram and stuff, they're very calculated. Now, before I'm going to ask you guys as well, as like James said, is it too long for the apology? But I also want to say, David Luiz did an interview, it was a while ago, not even a while ago, it was quite recent actually, sorry. It's on YouTube somewhere, and he talks about when he got red carded in that, or the team lost, or the team had a bad performance. He said, "I will take the blame. I'll take all the blame. Don't worry, don't say the players, don't say the manager." He said, "I'll take the blame." It's literally in an interview. He says, he knew mentally he was strong enough to take all the abuse and make a return. He clearly says that. The only thing I worry about with Pepe is I don't think he has that. Now, obviously, I don't know Pepe personally, but from what I've seen as a fan from the outset, I don't think he has just the mental strength to be able to say, "Do you know what? Yes, I made a mistake. I'll take all the abuse, but I will make my comeback."
A lot of comments agreeing with you. That didn't take too long.
You took too long. You have to take time to understand what you've done, and then you've got to speak to with there'll be a team at Arsenal, a social media team, and they'll have to write up a statement. Of course, it's sincere though. I believe he meant every word he said, but that's why it wouldn't be immediately. Like, couldn't have been immediately. Like, we knew Pepe checked his social media straight away because he came onto our page, so we know he checked it. But then that's not the right time to then write an Instagram story or an apology. It takes time, and I think he apologised at the right time. Before we move on, we're getting loads of super chats, so I've got to make sure we get through these. Thank you, everyone watching. Sending your comments. We're going to be here discussing all morning. I keep shaking the table. I'm so sorry. Lloyd Pope says, "Do we need the return of the king for one last time? I think we need him right now." Lloyd, I tell you now, I honestly that would make my heart so full. I spoke about this in our pre-match build-up show. I did a little segment on it because that was one of my favourite times in football when he returned against Leeds last time for the FA Cup in 2012 and scored. I literally cried. Big mad thing. I don't really care I don't care what people say. It was literally the best moment for me. Obviously, we've won trophies, the Invincible season, all that. I was very young, but that moment there, the reason why I started football was cheering. So it's come full circle. I'm answering this question. I would like him to be involved in the club at some point by the end of his managerial career. That would be amazing. That would also make my heart full. So hopefully we'll see him again. Sorry, James, just going to keep flicking through. Mickey J. Thank you for your super chat. Rather watch Pepe get sent off through a passionate display than watch Oba walk around with his head down for 90 minutes. Get Martinelli back so Oba can see what hunger looks like again. Woo! Do you know what, James? You take that one. That's a big statement, but I do agree. Partly. I do agree partly actually.
Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the comment. I get the sentiment behind what you're saying. I personally don't agree, Mickey. For me, Pepe didn't get sent off because of passion. He got sent off because of the moment of madness. Bamiyang, I agree, doesn't look really at it right now. But I'd still rather have 11 men on the pitch. I don't believe Aubameyang's not trying either. So I get what you're trying to say, but not really for me.
Yeah.
Do you have another super chat? I've got a good comment here.
We have loads of comments. I will be back to you, Tino. Thank you, regular as well. Appreciate this. I feel like Pepe hasn't ever been given a real chance at Arsenal. Never been a regular start. Never given consistent game time to fit in at Arsenal. Now, this has been said across the board from fans that I've spoken to, but it's a difficult one. Before Project Restart, yes, he had great moments and he probably deserved his spot then. But since coming back, if I'm honest, I don't think he's earned the right to be starting, if I'm completely honest. And I feel like, I don't know who that's down to, if I'm honest, because it might be the manager, the way he's coached him. It may be the formula Arteta wants to play, or it might be just down to him. And
I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
It's a bit of both. I mean, Pepe, people are right. Pepe's not been given a solid run in the team. But having said that, when he has had a solid run in the team, I wouldn't say he's lit, he's lit up the Premier League at all. So it's a bit of both. But, all right, I've got a good comment here, if you don't mind me bringing it up.
Bring it up, because I've got more chats coming in as well. Go on.
This is from Facebook. Robert Davis, after being racially abused, you guys are timing an apology. How many goals have Arsenal scored in the last 5 games? Don't make Pepe a scapegoat. Arsenal a bigger problem at hand. Now, Robert, I agree. I agree. And by the way, we're not timing the apology. I don't know if you saw earlier in the show, but I was very much saying I was saying, and Cecil was agreeing, that I think the fans have slightly overreacted to what Pepe really did. So no, I agree. We shouldn't be scapegoating him. There's way bigger problems at the club.
100%.
And also, and you rightly point out there are much bigger problems in football and in society as well to address. So you're absolutely right. This is not the biggest issue at hand. As you know, as an Arsenal fan channel, of course, we're going to talk about it. And we've said our bit and we've defended him. But it's a good comment. Thanks for getting that in. In terms of the apology and the timing, though, I just wanted to ask the question because maybe this is unpopular to say. I am one who feels that if you come out and apologise, maybe that evening or the morning, it kind of feels like it came more from the player. Whereas if you leave it that bit longer, it feels like maybe there was a bit of what's the word? Like, basically, this isn't what I think. It's just some people, maybe a bit cynically, might feel that it's like the agent telling him what to say or the club telling him what to say. I'm not saying that what it is. I actually think it looks very genuine. I believe he's a genuine footballer. I believe he's a genuine bloke as well. And his sort of, persona since he's joined the club suggests that. But it is just worth asking the question that, it was just that little bit later on the Monday that we eventually heard from Pepe. That's kind of all I'm saying on that. But yeah, anyway, just worth asking the question. But you're right. There are bigger problems in society and in football that absolutely need to be addressed. So thanks for that comment, Rob.
Yeah, also, just quickly, Rob, sorry, I keep having this conversation about the scapegoating. I put a poll out yesterday saying if Pepe didn't get red carded, would the scoreline have been any different, or would we have got more points from the game? 1,573 people said yes, 1,509 people said no. I'm gonna let you know I voted and said no as well. I don't believe it would have changed it. I'm not scapegoating Pepe. I generally believe, regardless of the red card, we still have got a 0-0. So yeah, so it's no scapegoating. We understand there's more problems. I speak about it all the time. We're not urgent going forward enough, and there's other problems. So for your comment, Delta James, what would your reaction be if he gets selected in Thursday's game? Wouldn't be angry. I wouldn't be angry.
Me neither. No, I'd be happy for him. I think he needs it.
Yeah, I think that would be a discussion that the manager would have had with him and said, you know what, I get what you've done, but now we're going to look past it. Get your minutes in. Enjoy playing. I wouldn't be angry. And I think if I'm honest, from a player's point of view, I think that would do him a lot of good. But doubt that will happen. But it'll do him a lot of good. So we're missing loads.
I've got another really good one here. Are you? This is from Azita Oz. Sorry to take over there. Are you comparing this to when Xhaka took 2 weeks for his apology? I wasn't on AFTV at the time of this, but anyone who knew me at the time knows that I was infuriated by how long it took Xhaka to make a statement. I won't go in on that situation then, because I think the fans did a lot wrong, the player did a lot wrong, the club, Emery, a lot was handled terribly in that situation. But no, I agree, the Xhaka situation was a lot worse. So no, not comparing the two, but I'm glad you brought that up, because it's another example of where it felt like a little long to hear from a certain player. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up, for sure.
Yeah. Mark T again, thank you very much. Regular, appreciate you. I'm missing the creativity within our team, and so am I, bro. It's actually exhausting at times watching Arsenal at the moment. But we're got trust process. We are not seeing enough recently. What is the club smoking? We need Robbie to bring back his fave music, Don't Sniff That, and start singing to Arteta. Do you know what? Fans return soon, guys. I'm sure, well, a fraction of the fans, they'll be heard when they're in the stadium, and I think you're right. Things need to change.
Yeah.
And again, in the urgency, creativity. Hopefully, in January window, we buy someone. We'll have to just see when we get there. I've missed a few super chats. Do forgive me. I'm going to quickly scan through now. It's been, this chat section is going off, guys. Will we more discussion today and debate? Yeah, I think I've got one here from CF. He says, or they say, Pepe literally apologized day after the game. Willian hasn't apologized yet. You say nothing, and we'll put him in your starting 11 next game. Shake my head. Now, that can't be added. That's not coming from me. I hope that's not directed at me, bro.
Yeah, we're not starting him.
I told you, I'm not impressed with both of them. So I don't know. And what has Willian got to apologise for? I'm confused. Explain.
Going to Dubai.
I mean, we don't know. I don't know what that's for yet. We've been scouring all the Arsenal news press. We're very close. Well, we're close enough, I think, to the club to find out the opinion, but we still haven't got the answer. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It might have been on business. It might have been on football related. Apart from, obviously, we've seen him in Saltbay's restaurant, but that may have been on football business. We don't know yet. So we can't slander Willian, and we're not here to slander anyone, if I'm honest. But yeah, I don't expect an apology from him. I wouldn't put him right now in the starting 11 either. But what else do we have?
No, I agree. We could be very depleted in the next few games.
Yeah.
Should we talk about there might be one more super chat hanging around then. Let's talk about the fact the fans are back.
Yes, let's do that. After I speak to this, Dimitri again, Haddad, thank you. See you, second super chat. I appreciate you. Love your work, boys. Love from Sydney, Guna. Boy, that means I don't know what time you are there, but I know it's later in the day. Bring back King Henry as coach. That would be my Ross Clark dreamer. Bring it, just get Henry back in the club. Now listen, that may not I don't know, that might change anything, but I love him too. The squad needs to learn and understand passion for the badge. I think this is the same with like everyone, Rio Ferdinand at Man United, that they're legends to the club, and they say they will provide the passion and the discipline. But I mean, it's a big ask. I think football's changed a lot. Whether that be received in today's game, I don't know. But I mean, having Thierry back would be ideal. Alan, thank you very much for super chat. B Stan MP, have seen you before as well. Right, I think that's all of them. Let's get to the fans. Let's get to comments as well, guys. Carry on. Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, so well, this is interesting, right? Because basically, it was announced yesterday that fans would be allowed back at sporting events. There's different rules for indoors and outdoors. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong. It was a little complex, but I believe the way it's going to work is essentially there are 4,000 fans allowed at a particular ground, or 50% of the capacity of the ground.
Yeah.
Now, whichever one you choose is basically whichever's lowest. So if your ground hosts 2,000 fans, you can only have 1,000. But if your ground hosts 10,000, you can only have 4,000. That's, I think, basically how it works. It also depends on the tier systems. So I think if you're in tier 1, you can have up to 4,000. If you're tier 2, you can have up to 2,000 or 50%. So 4,000 or 50%, 2,000 or 50%. And if you're in tier 3, no fans at all, I believe. So this makes things very interesting because the tier systems are going to slightly change once we come out of lockdown. And by the way, I apologise for all our international fans who don't maybe know what's happening here in the UK in terms of our lockdown or what it means. But essentially, we're still in a national lockdown until the 2nd of December. And then once that's finished, I believe it ends on the 2nd of December. But once that's over, we go back into what's essentially a tier system where every town, city, area, I'm not really sure, is basically judged on its own lockdown merits, essentially. So if the cases are low in your area and you're doing quite well in terms of controlling the virus, you'll be in tier 1, which means you have more freedoms. You can see up to 6 people, restaurants and everything's open. Tier 2 means you're not allowed to see other households, but you can go to restaurants with your family and shops remain open. And tier 3 means you're essentially in lockdown. So if London's in tier 3, come the end of lockdown on December 2nd, Spurs won't be able to have fans at the North London derby. But if we come out and we're in tier 2 or tier 1, then yes, they could have up to 2,000 or 4,000 fans in the stadium. Now, I've not seen too much on whether Tottenham are trying to arrange that to happen. I believe they might be trying to sort of prepare, but it's very hard for these clubs to do while the government essentially are yet to unveil what tier every area is going to be in. But then it begs the question, is this really fair to have, some club games going ahead with fans in the stadium and others not? So we could go to Spurs and there could be 4,000 fans in the stadium. But when we play them next, I don't know when it is, maybe April, February, March, whenever it might be, maybe we might be in tier 3 and we don't get fans in the stadium for the North London derby. And no matter what anyone says, that does make a slight difference. But the overriding feeling from me is that I'm just very happy they're coming back. So sorry for that long-winded explanation and all that, but it's very important to sort of get certain details out in place. What's your kind of reaction to all this, Sess?
That's it, really, guys. I'm going to keep it short because James basically gave you the whole breakdown. Keep it short. When fans come back, hopefully we'll be back. And all it means is, obviously, me and James are new to AFTV. We've been bedded in very, very nicely, and we thank you all. And it'll be nice to actually be part of this family whilst being able to interview fans straight after the game instead of obviously doing it here at the studio, which is fine. But it'd be nice to have the full AFTV experience when we're back in the stadium and interviewing fans, giving them their say after the game. That's all I'm going to say on that. We are coming to an end soon. I've got some comments that we're going back to the previous chat. Obviously, Kay the Gamer says, Cecil, tell me how Pepe doesn't deserve to start over any other attacker. What has any other attacking players done? Now, this is a great question, and you're right to question on it. And I'm going to agree with you. The attacking players that we have right now haven't done enough. But that's what I'm saying. Pepe, Willian, there's that whole position for me has not been good enough. So I don't think he deserves to start. But again, I don't think that Willian deserves to start. What I've said previously is if if I was a manager, I would put Pepe in the 10. So I think that's where it would be best and use his attributes the best because he's a technical player, and put Willian on the right and then have Aubameyang down the middle with Saka on the left. That is how I think the attack should set up, or take out the 10 for Willock. But we saw that, and in my opinion, it was good. It was good, and it was good. It just wasn't obviously at the I thought it was going to set the world alight. That didn't happen, but he's new in that role in the first team this season. So I mean, that's what it is. The attacking players, there needs to be more. There needs to be more from us going forward. I mean, we all know there's a problem there. So yeah. Sorry, it's got another super chat. Whoa, we are flying. Sorry, let me just click that one. There's a few here. We've got Randy Viper. See you again, bro. Thank you. Arteta has apologized. Arteta has to apologize. Outing Pepe publicly has triggered the abuse he's getting. Should have been kept in the dressing room. Unprofessional. James? What's your thoughts on that? Because that's Laurie's here and he agrees as well. And it did trigger. I think his reaction triggered a lot of our reactions. So
sorry, I just think since when do we want a manager who doesn't just say it how it is? If he didn't, if Arteta came out and said, you know, it is what it is. Pepe will learn from it. It's no big deal. These things happen. People would have called him weak. They'd have said he's got no what's the word? He's got no power or authority. He doesn't clamp down on discipline. He's allowing players to get away with it. That's what they'd be saying. If your player gets sent off, something like that, there's actually very little the manager can say right. He can't say words that magic him out of a 3-game ban, right? He can't say anything. It's been done. It's been said. So thank you, J Jones TV. So if he'd said it, if he'd said something more in defense of Pepe, people would have said that he was weak. When Wenger had a lot of class about him and he defended his players to the death. The problem was it got infuriating for fans who were saying, why don't you just admit that these players aren't doing it? Why do you keep defending them? Because they're not defending you on the pitch. And we need to remember that. Pepe let Arteta down, not the other way around. I feel like this is just an Arteta agenda thing. People who don't rate Arteta are just saying, shocking man management, don't rate him. He's not, you know, he's not looking after his players. What about the players looking after him as well?
Do you know what? That's funny, James, because Laurie was just he's here and he agrees with what Randy says, and he says he doesn't do it for everyone. And Laurie said, yeah, David Luiz, where was that energy when it happened to David Luiz? So, I mean,
but again, we said it on yesterday's show. Doesn't David Luiz have credit in the bank? Think of everything he's won in the game. Like think of the performances in the cup games for us. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like with David Luiz, of course he's got to be consistent, and I do agree. There's a point in that he doesn't defend or criticize every player in the same way. I do agree that there's definitely something in that, but that isolated incident alone, I don't have a problem with the way he reacted about Pepe. I mean, what's he meant to say?
Yeah,
people weren't praising him for defending David Luiz. Do you remember one fan going back and going, "Oh, well done, Arteta, for backing David Luiz. That's really good of you." No, everyone was saying, "Get him out. Luiz is finished. He's done." That's what everyone was saying. Then he drops 2 masterclasses at Wembley.
People, I mean, yeah, this is a hot one, boy. People are getting in their feelings, James. I can see you.
I'm all right. Like, I'm okay. People.
I respect it. I'm gonna be honest. My thoughts on it is just simply
making a good point. They are making a good point. I just. No, sorry. I got a bit distracted there. But can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think just don't break your laptop, please. Carry on. Go on.
No, fair enough. No, all good. No, look, Randy, I've got him here saying it's an agenda against Pepe. Randy, thanks for your comment. Like, there's definitely, I think there's a point to what you're saying. I'm not like wildly disagreeing with you. I just think the other way around, we'd be seeing a pretty similar reaction. So I get what you're saying, but not for me.
Oh, the comments are great. Oh, I love him. Yeah, I'm just going to say my opinion. I feel what Pepe did was wrong anyway. I feel like it's the fans' reaction to Arteta's reaction. I think that snowballed how we reacted towards Pepe. I agree, but I think that was Arteta just being honest, and then that was him in his moment there. So it is what it is. I guess we've run over. Thank you.
Thank you, Harry.
Loving the new sportswear as well.
I love this one. Sorry.
Oh, it's great. Listen, guys, I'm gonna bring this to a wrap here for today's morning show. Thank you for everyone that got involved. Again, I say it every day. We're going to be back here 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, same time as usual, always here discussing the daily topics. Robbie will be here at 7 p.m. tonight doing his live. Make sure you tune into that. And yeah, Friday we got a quiz with prizes. And yeah, I think that's it. I think
and
you guys
vote on AFTV VIP as well, guys. There's lots of polls and stuff going on there. Go vote. Lots of new content. So yeah, go check that out as well. Great
shout. Yeah, go to the AFTV app and vote on the polls. There's loads. We bring them up. We talk about them in the show. So make sure you do. Final little super chat from Jeremy Swazlinch, a big regular here. I feel bad for Laka goal threat. Everyone made excuses for Oba, like no creativity. Now,
it's a good point.
It's a good point. We'll save it for tomorrow's show. Guys, thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure as always. We'll see you soon. Have a great Tuesday. See you in the morning. Peace.
This is AFTV VIP, the official web app with members-only content, has no ads and a live in-game match center. The bias predictor, it has daily polls and the AFTV 11 selector. Just one click away.